Colfax Crew Action News, and before we get started, let's take a look at your chief meteorologist in the field right now to get a look at your weather.
Hello there, I'm Jack Moran. As for the weather, it's alright.
Partly cloudy with a 100% chance of sexy. Thanks, Jack. Next things next, let's go over to Jack Moran with sports.
Thanks, Jack. As you can see, I'm playing ping pong with myself. Back to you in the studio.
You're fighting the good fight, Jack. Tonight's top story. As we all know, President Obama's administration is coming to an end, and the new presidential nominees have been announced. Now, on one hand, we've got Chase Coney, Republican senator from California. He's a man's man, and a true politician, really knows his way around the courtroom. In the other hand, we've got Drew Diedrich, the Democratic senator, also from California. He's a man of the people and a true idealist. He likes to bring his fresh ideas right into politics. Now, I recently sat down with both of these men for an exclusive interview discussing their personal running platforms. Enjoy.
I think that liberals have been going too far with personal liberties and regulations and institutions. I say if a man wants to yell fire in a crowded theater, and then proceed to sell fire extinguishers for half the price that he stole or bought them, why shouldn't he be allowed to? As far as regulations on business, well, monopolies and trusts, these are the kind of rugged individualism our nation was built on. Things like workers' unions and namby-pamby health codes will be a thing of the past.
As far as personal liberties are concerned, I believe that as a society we can progress further, faster, and more efficiently if every American is given a daily schedule of set tasks that they need to complete. And if they don't complete these tasks, a government official would be more than happy to step in and live their life for them, while they are relocated and re-educated in how society works.
Many liberals these days seem to be in support of this whole universal health care plan. Well, first off, the universe isn't really our concern. I certainly won't be paying for the health of Martians. And past that, nature has already given us the best possible health care. Death. I mean, how many cadavers have you seen cough? Now, death is such an important part of our health system that under my administration we would be providing it completely free of cost. In fact, government stipends would be given to those who elect to die before their expiration date. No longer are soldiers the only one granted the honor to die for their country.
I believe every American should have free, government-provided health care for every ailment, from car crashes and bullet wounds to ouchies and boo-boos. I also believe this coverage should last post-mortem, with the resuscitation period lasting at least 3 months. I also think that these cadavers should continue getting monthly checkups until the deterioration process is absolutely complete.
Foreign policy. Well, as far as foreign policy, I've got 6 words for you. Operation Bomb Those Oil-Hoarding, Allah-Worshipping Towelheads.
One of my first acts, upon being elected, will be to completely abolish the armed forces and replace them with well-trained diplomats. I mean, what do we need an army for anyway? Communism isn't that bad.
Many these days are trying to abolish secret prisons. Well, under my administration, I will make sure that all prisons are made into secret prisons, which will be built underground, with moats dug around them by the illegal alien inmates, all to protect from the mole people, which I believe account for 90% of today's prison escapes.
I not only believe that secret prisons are unconstitutional, I also believe that all prisons are unconstitutional. I think that our currently incarcerated inmates should be reintegrated into society. After all, the education system is in dire need of workers.
Not only would I like to abolish gun licensing laws, in fact, I believe that every male American citizen born should be presented a gun with their birth certificate. Or even better, have their birth name and social security number printed right onto the gun. But perhaps these shouldn't be given to female children. I mean, we wouldn't want the firearm to be potentially damaged in the drowning process.
I believe all weapons are immoral. Any gun or medieval weaponry, any sharp or blunt object, a clenched fist or harsh words, and all of these should be immediately confiscated, amputated, or taken back at a moment's notice.
my concerns for the environment, I simply look to science for the answer to these things. Now think, if you take even a small amount of gas, and you put it into a closed chamber, that gas will spread out and fill the entire chamber, correct? So now by that principle, if there is even one good tree left on Earth, what the hell are we doing not cutting down all the rest of them?
I believe America is past the point of industrialization, and now needs to enter the age of de-industrialization. Sidewalks and streets ripped up and replaced with wild grasses, public and residential areas reverted back to their natural terrain. Even personal possessions will be broken down into their natural states and returned to the earth. Jewelry will be broken down to its base metals, clothing unwoven into its natural fibers, and the automobile will be melted down to its original state. Horses.
As far as gay marriage is concerned, unlike most of my Republican colleagues, I actually support gays banding together. In fact, under my administration, homosexuals would be rounded up by the government and put into their own close-quarters, tight-knit community, where they would be kept under careful watch, for their own safety, of course, and put into good, hard, character-building labor. They would have tight, close quarters, maybe tents perhaps, almost like a camp, where they could concentrate on their own homosexual voodoo bonding rituals. And, all in all, just live a harmonious life, kept safe and away from us normals.
Not only do I believe that gays should have the right to marry in this country, I believe that a new institution should be created, a gays-only supermarriage, if you will. And this supermarriage shall have better tax cuts and more personal liberties and first pick of heterosexual born children, and all around better happiness than you, us, straight people.
Abortion. I am against the satanic ritual of infant slaughter in all cases, be it rape, or incest, homosexuality, or homosexual ancestral rape. In fact, if a child is conceived under those means, I would like photos taken of the child and to have those sent to me, for scientific reasons.
Some say abortion is too liberal. Well, I say it's not liberal enough. I will not be running on a platform of pro-choice, but rather on pro-abortion. If elected, I will ensure that 100% of all pregnancies are aborted, and devote billions of dollars into the research of postnatal abortion, all the way up to the 43rd trimester.
A man sits with his wife across the street. It's there that hot breath and freezing air meet. So happy and sad, wilted rose in his hand. He says to himself, so that can be. Surely she loves him more than my love. Why ever